I don't mind what you are thinking about that. You must do this work, and your opinion is of no importance for me. Do we have even somebody in this audience who haven't or who hasn't heard this phrase even once? At work, with friends, or even in your hobby sphere? Maybe, so you're a lucky guy. Because almost everybody has heard this phrase even once. But how could we find a compromise between two parties? How could we negotiate, and how we could become a successful negotiator? And how is it possible to find a compromise right after our conversation? Today we'll talk about this. So, dear fellow Toastmasters and dear guests, there are three main negotiation ends when you are trying to negotiate with a partner. The first one is called the win-win, when of course both parties have profited and are satisfied with the negotiations. The second end is called win-loss, when one of the parties of course is upset. And the third one, as you could determine, is called lose-lose. Great, when both parties feel satisfaction. I would like to say that in our modern life it's a common knowledge that we have to negotiate somewhere. As I have already told you, at work, with our friends, it doesn't matter. And we should know how to do it successfully. In my theoretical part, I would like to mention three main steps of finding the compromise between two parties. From my point of view, the first step we should do is to understand the main problem and actually assume it. You who are sitting in the audience would tell me, Kristen, are you crazy? This is the easiest thing. Do we have to think that we should assume a problem? Yes, you should. Because actually, once you begin the negotiation process, you don't sometimes take into consideration the opinion of the other party, and you don't understand the main problem. And that's why you take a very defensive position and you're beginning to attack the other party. So that's why the second step you should follow is to take into consideration the opinion of the second person. And yes, it's crucially important because it's the beginning of the negotiation process. And what is actually the third step for beginning a successful negotiation process? Any suggestions? Okay.
Offering options, maybe?
Yes, because it's also very important not to be the very authoritarian with your own opinion. You have to understand the opinion of the second person. So I agree with you. But maybe it could be more connected with the second step. And actually the third step, answering my own question, is to begin a conversation in a very positive way. You know that when you begin to talk with a person, the first approachment to the person you should do, it's like breaking the ice. That's why actually our first project from the CC manual is called Breaking the Ice. So if you are very negative with your partner, you will never ever find a compromise. And I hope that everybody agrees with me. Guys, have you ever heard such a phrase in English and in Russian it's the same, like non-verbal elements of body language? Of course. Actually, we have another project which is called the body language. So let's speak a bit about the non-verbal elements of your body language. I would say that it's even more important sometimes to think about the non-verbal elements of your speech, even more important comparing with the verbal elements. Why? Sometimes you even don't take into consideration that your body speaks for you. For example, how could you call this position?
Defensive position.
Right, defensive position, close position. And something like this one or this one?
Open.
Of course. Which position would you choose?
This one.
Of course. And why? Okay, why?
Because you're opening up to the person.
Right. So in this case, it's much more easier for me to find a compromise with this person, right? Taking into consideration his opinion, of course. So please don't forget about your body language and try to do your best during your 5th project or 6th project of the body language. So briefly, let's see the negotiation tips of any negotiation process actually. The first thing, as I have already mentioned, is to break the ice. A smile, a side, an open-minded person, open-minded nonverbal elements. All these things helps us to break the ice. The second one is to be honest and direct, but sincerely honest. The third one is to show appreciation, of course, because the second person also has some opinion. And the last but not the least is stick to the issue and always be very direct. So summing everything up, I would like to say that, for example, I have a very vivid example from my own life, of the Toastmasters life. Last year I was the president of this club. And now I am vice president education, which means that I'm responsible for giving your slots for speeches. But we have, thanks to God, we have many wonderful members and everybody wants to develop him or herself. Unfortunately, not every time me, being the vice president education, can comply with all the requests. So for example, Nika says me, I would like to take a slot for the speech, but I don't have slots for the speech. What should I do? I should negotiate with Nika, thank you, and try to find a compromise, try to give her more options to develop herself and to wait till the first slot we have in the club. And I hope that all the officers whom we have in our club won't make you lose this interest in our club, and will you even make to develop further inside of the Toastmasters community. And now it's the time for the second part of my project, which is called the role play. What does it mean? It means that now we have to show an example of how do all the negotiation tips work. For that, I have asked, right before the meeting, I asked Alexei Lobzov to help me. He will be actually my counter-agent, my partner. So, Alexei, please take the stage and let's see which situation do we have. So, Alex has an idea of a new product. This is an IT system which will work according with the method of administration of projects, which is called Prince2. And the company, so like our company, we work together, organizes a special training course for clients, and Alex wants to use this product to enhance the impact of the training work. But me, being the director of some department, something like that, I'm not sure if we really do need it. So now we'll try to use all the tips, so I will show them one more time, and actually we will try to find a compromise. So I ask our timer to take the time for the second part, okay? Thank you.
Hello, Kristina.
Hello, Alexei.
How are you?
Fine, and you?
I'm fine too, thank you.
Thank you.
Kristina, you know, in 4 hours I have a flight to Sochi where I will present our course, Project Management with Prince2 course method. But before I'm out, I'd like to propose you some interesting idea of organizing our courses. Would you like to hear what?
Yeah, actually,
like
briefly, maybe.
Yeah. What do you think about using a special software during our courses? You know, these consist of 2 parts, theory and practice. And the first one occupies approximately 80% and the second only 20%. And during the second one, participants of the course only work with case studies and don't use every each instrument which provided the method, the Prince2 method for project management. And I propose you to use this special software which helps them and which provides such an instrument.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so it's some kind of a theoretical part which occupies 80% and 20% of practice. Yeah? Okay, Alexey, and would you like to introduce somehow your project during your trip to Sochi, or would you like already to use it?
I'd like to introduce it during my trip, but nowadays we can't offer this product before we haven't developed it yet. And I'd like you to make some plans for the next year, to organize some budget to invest in it, to develop it, and then to use it in our business.
Actually, you know, I like your idea. You know that I'm a very open-minded person, and I would like actually to examine your project. I think that we could introduce something new towards it, but you know, I'm thinking that maybe it's not the best variant now to introduce it in Sochi. Do you know why? Because in Sochi we'll have a special training session, and we are very limited by time as usual, you know. But still, we could work a bit more on your project, develop it, invest to it a bit more. So we should, of course, talk about the financial part at the same time. And then maybe during your second trip to Sochi, which you know that will take place like in 4 months, you already know it, maybe we could already introduce some parts of your project. Because you understand that it's a bit difficult to begin to work on this project right now, right before your trip. And at the same time, being the director of the department, I'm not able to give you this opportunity to already introduce it. Do you understand me?
Yes, I understand you, but by the way, I've made some calculations, and you know this project could save a great amount of money for our business. For example, we could reduce our expenses on business trips of our trainers. We could reduce our expenses on the time of our trainers when the participants, when our clients call us and make some questions about our courses or about our methods, etc.
Okay, now I'm thinking about such a thing that maybe if we, like in 1 hour I will have dinner, so you could briefly actually tell me about the general idea, and maybe we could elaborate some kind of plan, so you could just briefly introduce it during your trip to Sochi, but I wouldn't like you to tell about this like Prince2 method. Do you understand me? Because it's the product which should be elaborated together with all members of our team, and taking into consideration that it's your idea, it should still be elaborated with the help of all members, the technical part and our, I don't know, marketing department. And then, like I have already told you, in 4 months during your next trip to Sochi, you actually will be able to prepare this training course with a new product. What do you think?
I think this option will be great, will be good, and let's wait 4 months and then let's return to this proposition, to this proposal, and discuss it.
So I propose you to meet in 1 hour in the restaurant on the first floor. So we'll briefly talk about your project and try to make the first notes about it, so you could introduce something during your trip to Sochi.
Okay.
Okay?
Then we'll meet, and I'll go to the airport
Directly.
Okay.
The brilliant ideas always comes like in the last moment. What should we do? Okay, thank you a lot. So see you in 1 hour. Ciao, ciao. He's already with his idea. Okay, thank you so much. And the last part is super brief, but I would like to ask you guys, what do you think actually about this dialogue? But please be very brief. I don't know, maybe you are very active during my project.
Oh, me?
Yeah.
Actually, what I think is dialogue was quite good and quite understandable and easy to follow. but there was, in my opinion, there were a little bit disadvantages, maybe weaknesses on the dialogue that maybe your opponent was not so informed by a project. I mean, maybe he was a little bit hesitate.
That's why we'll meet in 1 hour and actually discuss during
he
eating
actually
something.
wasn't ready for an hour, you know. He
why I told-
supposed you to meet in a month.
Yeah, that's
1
why I
hour
actually
is
told told him that we are not able to introduce this project right now, but to give like the first thoughts.
But
Oh,
yeah, and I want to add a little bit more that all rules that you listed before, actually I noticed in your dialogue, and actually I think that, and I believe that all of these works, and we can use it in our real life
Yeah, I
to
think,
negotiate. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Thank you for the dialogue. It was great. Yeah.
Thank you.
It was
Okay,
helpful.
thank you. So maybe you could be the last but not the least, like 2 words about our dialogue and we finish.
I like this dialogue. I don't know how to say what to say more.
But actually, were you agree with the form of the dialogue? Or
Actually, I didn't understand all things that you were speaking about, but I'm agree with you. Yeah.
okay, okay. So I'm a good director, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so thank you so much. We are running out of time as usual, and now it's time to return our Toastmaster to the stage actually. Thank you.